You are in tune with your spirit. You take risk and faith. You create yourself with your speech, so you speak highly of who you are. You allow intentional, sincere action to replace your ego. Every struggle and challenge is going to make you stronger and better. Every hardship is followed by a greater opportunity. I am made in the image of the highest form of love, beauty, power, creativity, and divinity. I am limitless and able. I no longer accept things that are not in alignment with what I desire. Everything that I want and need will come to me tenfold. Give yourself grace for showing up for you today. You choose to push through every internal fight on your own and still made it to see another day. That's something to be proud of. What's meant to be yours is already making its way to you. What was never yours is fleeing from you. With time, it would all make sense. But for now, bear the confusion and focus on living fully in the present. Don't let your whole life be, I'll be happy when. Be happy now. Thank you for joining me for another episode of My Girl Speak with Key. Of course, I'm Key, and happy Wednesday. Today, I had the pleasure of having my first interview, and it was with one of my favorite podcasters, Sheanah, from Who You're Calling Holistic. We talked about everything under the sun, and you'll find out why she has one of my favorite shows early on. The show will begin after this commercial break.
Welcome to That's My Biz, featuring two fly moms who are about their biz. Join me, Pamela, and my homegirl Ginger as we share the crazy ins and outs of juggling life, motherhood, relationships, entrepreneurship, and all that in between. Make sure to check in with us every Tuesday for a new episode and follow on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a beat.
Today's show, I'm being joined by Sheanah from Who You're Calling Holistic. Hi, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
This is my first time. I'm doing good, by the way. This is my first time having you on, but I really, really would love to have you more than one time because your podcast is one of my favorite podcasts at the moment.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know what? I feel like because this is your first time on, I feel like you need a hand clap. Could you give me a hand clap, please? Yes. We're so happy to have you. Hey, girl, hey.
That was more than that was a whole round of applause. That wasn't just a,
You had deserved that. You did.
Thank you.
Your show, I love your transparency, but I also love the fact that you really don't care how people feel about what you do. And I have been wanting to speak with you for like a while now. Be Easy from the DJ Blaze radio show. He sent me your show, I think, 2 or 3 months ago when I first started mine. And it just changed my life. First of all, let's speak on, can you tell us what you do?
A lot. I live my life. There we go. But no, to get more clear, I'm a Reiki master teacher. So I teach Reiki and I also offer Reiki. So I do distance Reiki sessions. I do group Reiki sessions. And what I'm tapping into more now is I'm becoming more, I don't want to call myself a coach or a spiritual teacher. I don't really resonate with those labels, but maybe a guide. I'm becoming a guide now for people that are sorting through, whether it's spirituality or tapping into the things that are going on with their bodies. So I'm becoming a guide to help people with those journeys now.
Now, like I said, I listened to your show. Did you start this process? Now, I know the answer to this, but my listeners may not know the answer. Did you start this process after you became a massage therapist? Did it have any type of connection?
Yeah, I was practicing massage therapy since 2011. And I didn't take up Reiki until 2017. So then it just became a part of my massage practice. And I didn't even look at Reiki as like a spiritual thing to begin with. I just definitely saw it as something that helped my clients relax, and it was putting them to sleep. So I was like, I need to do this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then it shifted, and then it grew, and it's still growing. So yeah, now I'm done with massage and focusing on this.
So you don't do massage therapy anymore? Is this your full-time job?
This is, nobody knows this yet. You're the first person finding out. This month I am no longer doing massages. Like this, I'm done with massage after April.
Okay. Congratulations. Like you're fully stepping into your purpose. Congratulations.
I had a toe in, and I was like, I know I'm blocking my blessings because I'm not doing it all the way. So yeah.
Now
full body in now.
I'm so happy for you. Now, I actually listened to the show that you did with the DJ Blaze radio show, which I told Be Easy that's my favorite show that they had. Because first of all, there's so many things that happen on that show. If you guys did not hear that show, please go back and listen to when they have Sheanah on, because
I read him a little bit.
The hat thing, sis. Yeah. Yes. He's wearing a hat right now. And he doesn't believe anything. So I laughed so long. Like I actually listened to that show again on today because it's one of my favorite shows that you was on. But one thing that you said that resonated with me was that anybody could do this. They can yes. Anybody could become a master, once they start learning. Yes. Yep. You don't have to be a massage therapist. You don't have to be in the wellness, I'm using air quotes there. You don't have to be in the wellness community. You can be anybody and learn Reiki healing. You can learn how to heal yourself on any platform. Like you don't have to have a certain career to learn this work. My favorite thing that you said, I've heard you say it on 3 episodes, 2 of which were your own. And I think I actually went back and listened from episode 1 of your podcast. So I'm pretty sure you may have said it again more than 3 times, is that, the difference between like spells and affirmations and prayers. I was having a conversation the other day with a friend, and it's really a verbiage. It really is. You said happy birthday is a spell. It is. It is. And then when I listened to you say it, you was like, but you say it over a candle. Yeah. You light a candle, you set an intention, and then you say happy birthday. Why is that not a spell? And I'm like, I don't know if you ever watched. Have you ever watched the show How I Met Your Mother? I have not seen that show. Okay, they have this analogy that they use where they say the glass shatters. And what that means is like something that you never thought about. You're like, oh my God. That's so true. So when you said that, because the first time I heard you say that was to Be Easy. Because that was the roots. That was a very interesting episode. But the first time I heard you say it was to him, and he was like, but you say happy birthday. But the thing is, like they said on the show, he does not. Until I heard that show, I realized he's never told me happy birthday. And I'd be offended every year and took it personal, but he doesn't say it. But like affirmations, if you ever heard my show, I start every show with affirmations. Recently, I started using first, because I always use third person in the beginning. But I recently did a part where I add somewhere I talk to myself. So I talk in the first person. To some people, that's witchery. Like, to some people, they think affirmations are spells. But I guess it's more of how you look at it. All of it's how you look at it. Like, it's just a lot of this information, a lot of these practices have been demonized over the years because people don't want you to know your power. They don't want you to know that you can create the life that you're living. They don't want you to know that you can manifest exactly what you want out of your life regularly. So like, it's easy to say, like, especially, the Beyonce stuff that came up recently, and everybody was like, oh, she's a demon. She's got like horns and stuff. And that, like, no, all these things have just been demonized over the years to keep people from the truth, especially Black people. Especially Black people, especially Christians. And I can say that because I come from a very Christian background. Extremely Christian. So Christian until at one point, my mother did not want to hear anything about astrology. Like, she did not want that in her house. I never watched Harry Potter. I was one of those. Yeah. I didn't watch Harry Potter. I wasn't allowed to watch the Powerpuff Girls. It's a lot, you know. It's a lot. But my mother listens to the show, so I'm not going to go too far into that.
Yeah.
But it was a lot that, you know, my family was really, really strict on. And then recently, like in the last 6 months, my mom was like, well, is it true what you say about those Virgos? And I was like, yeah, I really don't care. And I'm like, yeah, you just don't care. You're nonchalant. You have no feelings at all. I think after I dated 4 of them and I was raised by one, I think I know.
Oh no, I can't date Virgo men. That's not a thing.
Listen,
we can make good friends, but they're different. They're different species.
They very much
I would think all those earth elements, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, they're all like cousins. They have similarities. But I can't. So it's like dating somebody like you almost.
See, I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, so you should mesh real good with one, but not one that isn't like emotionally available.
That's the thing. Yeah. I married one. I married a Virgo. We're divorced.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. I almost clapped again because we came a long way, but we're divorced. And for a long time, I only attracted Virgos, which I thought was so strange. Like, my first boyfriend I ever had in my whole life had my mother's birthday. And
you have a lot of Virgo placements in your chart?
None. It's weird, right? Like, I'm emotional. Like, when I say emotional, like, I feel everything. So to be with someone that feels nothing, or I won't say they don't feel anything, but they don't show it, I can't do it. I can't do it. So that's why it's like, yeah, they're attracted to me, but it never really works because they're really numb. And I recently connected with a Capricorn. That didn't last long either. No.
I hear those Capricorn men are different too. I can't speak on these. I know the earth elements, like, I get along great with all of them, but dating is a whole different story. But on you saying the thing about your emotions, like Scorpio is a water sign. That's all emotion.
Listen, I think I cry at least twice a day.
Yeah. Scorpios and Cancers and what else? Pisces. They're gonna get in touch with some emotions.
Like I started therapy recently.
Yay.
Yes, but I don't like my therapist. Let me explain. Okay, my therapist, I had therapy like last week, and I was saying I was in a good place, and he kept asking me the same questions 5 or 6 times. A friend of mine said he keeps asking you the same question because you're lying to him. You're not okay. And so, like, yesterday, I had, like, being the Scorpio that I am, I burst into tears, like, randomly. So I told my friend today, I was like, maybe I am lying to my therapist. And he was like, yeah. So this week, be honest, and I bet you like your therapist. Yeah, so, yeah, it's a journey, healing and everything. Yeah. And your show has helped with that because I've learned so much, but I have so many questions. For example, I've never been so intrigued about mushrooms in my life. The way you propositioned that, the way you packaged it, I'm like, okay, maybe I won't be too wild. Do you listen to SZA by any chance?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. This is related, I promise. Did you see the Good Days video?
Yeah, I even posted, like, I was like, you can tell when somebody's tried shrooms.
Listen, when they first posted it on the Shade Room, right? Mm-hmm. At first, I didn't see it on YouTube yet, and I'm like, this looks like a wonderful trip. I had never taken one, but it just looked like one. So then I watched the video, and the concept of the whole video is about mushrooms. Mm-hmm. And now I can't unhear it when I hear the song. And now I think about you every time I hear the song. But I also heard you say, don't do too much. You have to know what you're doing.
You do. You definitely do. And then you also need, like, a sitter of some sort. Like, don't, like, I know of a friend that was like, well, I'm going to just do it by myself. And I was like, are you sure? You don't want somebody there with you? So I recommend having somebody nearby because I don't want to have that journey alone, but maybe that's just me.
I heard an episode where you talked about once you take the journey, you can't really date people that haven't.
Correct. Correct. Because like your mind has been expanded to see all kinds of things that you don't see, you know, like in your vision, like here on earth, in the present sense. But like once you've seen all of that and you know that you're dating somebody that hasn't seen it, it's hard to have just normal conversations.
I can imagine. Like, I'm just sitting here thinking about all the trips I took on marijuana. My mother's listening. I haven't smoked in a while, Mom. But all the trips I took on marijuana, and when I listen to your show about the mushrooms, and I'm like, okay, so this is different. Like, this is all the way different. So how often do you travel?
I don't travel often. I've microdosed more often than a macro dose. And microdosing, there's all kinds of studies, especially now, it's becoming a lot more mainstream on all the benefits of microdosing. I stopped taking Adderall earlier this year, and microdosing can help with focus. Microdosing can help with depression, PTSD, there's all kinds of benefits, and just mushrooms in general. Like outside of trippy mushrooms, there's just so many benefits in mushrooms, period.
I dated a guy who had went on a trip, and really listening to your show changed my opinion on it, because his trip was terrible. When I tell you it was terrible, I remember him going next door to the neighbor house. He came back home. When he came home, he got in the shower. He was fully dressed. And he was screaming. And I had like a baby at the time. My baby was like a few months old. And I like, you wake my baby up, we're going to have problems. And he was just screaming, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And I was I was like, what did you have over there? He was like, he had mushrooms. I was like, I will never, ever touch a mushroom if this is going to make me act like this. Like,
you got to be in a good mind state.
But then I listened to
it loose.
I listened to your show and I was like, maybe it was him. Because like, yeah, he was a very strange person. I won't say strange. That's not the right word. But later on, I found out he was narcissist. He was a narcissist and abusive. And like other things like that. So I was like, maybe that trip, now I listen to you talk about it, maybe his spirit
was trying to fix some things.
Like, I had an ex. This happened, I ain't gonna say when, because they be trying to figure out who I be talking about on here. Okay, so I had an ex where I would sage the house. And he'd be like, oh my God, it smells horrible. And he'd be choking. Just
it's
choking.
You.
Yes. You're the negative energy, sir. So like, he'd be like, why does it smell so bad? Like, it just smells so bad. And like, I have kids. So my daughter was like, Mommy, it doesn't stink. And like, my son never coughed, and he's asthmatic. And like, I'm like, okay, the whole time he was cheating on me. It was him. It was him. But like I said, be easy. He won't let us bring sage to the studio. And he won't let us smudge it either. I think he thinks it's him. I think so. But he has on a hat.
He's just protecting himself at all costs, I guess.
I'll tell you, if you guys, I know you don't understand these insiders. That's why you have to listen to the episodes that I'm referencing, and you have to listen to her show. You have to, because, my favorite one was the Astral sex one. Listen, I don't know what I have to do to experience that, but I have so many questions for that too. Oh my God, I have like a list. I've been wanting to talk to you for weeks.
Let's knock them out. I got you.
All right. So once you have astral sex, how do you be with a man again? It's normal, right? It just feels regular.
I mean, you know, there's different levels of sex too, right? Like just, you know, like sometimes it's going to be like mind blowing, and sometimes it was, oh yeah, that was good. So like, it's no different. But like that was a mind blowing experience, but like, you know, can I recreate it? Probably not.
Right. Because what I think is going to happen, like, I'm going to have this mind blowing experience, right? And then I'm going to try to be with a human. And I'm going to be like, yo, I can just wait for, you know, him to come back.
Well, they say the same about vibrators, but look, there's still men out here thriving and getting some. So,
I wouldn't
there's
be
room
able
for everybody.
I wouldn't be able to speak on that because I've never done that before.
Wow.
That's a whole nother thing. Oh, I have another question. Okay. So I follow, do you follow Sheila Marie?
I don't.
Okay. Now she has I won't say it's a podcast, but she has Patreon content. And on the content, she does guided meditation and stuff like that. But it was a class that she taught on self-pleasing, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying like a part of really healing and loving yourself has to do with self-pleasing. Mm-hmm. Would you say that because I don't, have I not tapped into that?
Are you asking if you haven't been able to have astral sex yet because you haven't used a vibrator yet?
Wait, no, I wasn't asking that, but now I want to know.
So I was going to say those can go hand in hand. But the thing is, like, if you're out of touch with yourself, like with whatever body part, with your mind, with your gut, with your lady bits, all of that, if you're out of touch with it, then you're not going to connect to it in the ways that are possible.
So, wow. Hold on, I'm having that moment. You know that
a glass shatter moment.
Yeah, I started to say how they said on the show, they was like the OS moment. I'm having one of those, so give me just 1 second. I got to connect. Okay. So, can you fully love yourself without doing it? Without self-pleasing? Because I don't.
Yeah, you can. But you can love yourself more by self-pleasing.
So what we're going to do, I can't make any promises of when this is going to happen because then it's going to be weird. Like if I be like, so tonight I'm going to do it. I can't arrange that. But
tonight's a great night. It's a new moon, new beginnings. Good time to start something fresh.
You know what? Let's talk about that. New moons. What does that mean for you?
New moons are the times that, I think it's been perceived that full moons are like full of witchery and like, wolves howling and like magic and mystery in the air and stuff. But like, new moons are like where the real magic is. That's when you're like, I always say new moons, new beginnings to help me remember. New moons are the good time to set intentions when like all the magic is available out there. I mean, the magic's available anytime, but new moon is going to amplify it.
Okay, now I'm really new to all of this, so I actually don't know a lot about like the moons, and I was hearing you and Amy discuss like candle magic and stuff like that. Like I'm like all the way new, like I just started saging like last year.
No, you got time. Listen, you got time.
Okay.
I've been in it some years now, so you got time.
I'm just amazed by like the process because one of the episodes I listened to you speak about how you had did your first virtual teaching, and you went from your first virtual session to fully stepping into this and doing this every day. Mm-hmm. And during the pandemic, have you seen that a lot of people have questions now?
Oh yeah, a lot of people had a lot of alone time and a lot of time outside of, like traditional church. So it gave them a lot more time to think about like, what does all of this really mean? What am I doing with my life? And that led a lot of people into self-discovery and self-awareness.
Like I said earlier, I came from a really religious family. So the other day I was speaking with my mom and she was telling me about a show she came across. It's called The Healer. Have you heard of that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Charlie Goldsmith. I go to some of it. He has, events sometimes that I'll do, but I'm pretty sure what he does is like it's energy healing, but I'm like, this is like Reiki.
That's when she explained it to me, she didn't use that word.
He doesn't use that word for it either.
She didn't use that word, but when she explained it to me, because also when I know this might be weird, but when I heard the Astral sex episode, I went and ran, like I was like, Mom, yo, I finally heard someone else talk about this because I heard someone else speak about this years ago, but she didn't use it in the terminology that you and your guest did. How she spoke about it was in terms of, she said that, the Holy Spirit came into her. That's how she said it. But she described it because your guest and the other person that I heard speak about it talked about how he was the most handsome man you ever see. like he was fit. You could see him. Like, it wasn't like you just felt it. You saw everything. It was just mind blowing, right? So then when I was telling her about that, she told me about the healer. And when she described it, she said, well, you know, it's medicine. Well, it's not medicine, but he goes into the doctor's offices and he puts his hands together and they begin to feel it through whatever body part. I get what happens, the way she described it, because I apologize, I didn't actually see the show, but she's really good at descriptions. So it sounds like I saw it right. So she was like, he puts his hands together and his hand, wherever the person needs healing, like if they have like heart problems or stomach problems, wherever, it starts to burn, like it starts to heat up and they begin to heal. And she was talking about how we need more of that, like if the doctor's offices allowed more of that around here. And I was just blown away by this because, like I said, my family is like really, really religious. But I think it's the way that it's packaged.
Yeah, and like I've heard a lot of times, or not a lot of times, there's one friend of mine in particular that we often trade services. Like I'll get a massage from her and she'll get Reiki from me. And she said that Reiki was and she grew up very religious. She grew up in the church regularly. And she said that when she receives Reiki, it feels a lot like catching the Holy Ghost in church. Like it feels the same way on the inside.
It's really about it's all about verbiage. It's all about verbiage because I've spiritual baths. Spiritual baths was actually introduced to me in church. Now I know that's odd, right? Because like that's odd. It was introduced to me in church, and now the way that it was introduced, it wasn't like you use crystals and stuff like that. No, but the first time I heard about it, the term was in church. But like I have other family members, like I had another family member, I'm not like, I have no idea who listens to my show, so I'm trying not to call names. But I have another family member that visited our church and heard our pastor talk about a spiritual gift, like a spiritual bath, excuse me. And she was like, oh no, I can't come there anymore. That's witchcraft. That's witchcraft. And like, I'm like, it's just salt in your bath water, but okay.
Yeah, yep.
But when you hear it from different people, or depending on how they say it, you think of it different. You think of it totally differently. I feel like if the healer would have came out maybe 4 years ago, I don't think my mother would have been as receptive. Or
no, that's the thing. It's been out for a while. I saw it a couple years ago. She's just now like getting on that, I like to use the word frequency, like where she's more open to it. Like she's just now open to receiving that information.
But if they called him a warlock, or if they called him a witch or a sorcerer, I think you call a man a sorcerer. If they called him that, then that would have been, oh no, you can't watch that. But in reality, again, it's all about how you package it. Happy birthday is a spell. That sentence like changed my life. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let anybody call me a witch. You know, like, and even if you do, is that bad? Is it really? I've been called way worse things. Can you say that again for me?
We're the ones that choose our identities. So it doesn't matter what other people call you in the big picture. Like we're the ones who choose what to be called and what to identify with.
Like I always tell people, like, you know, people be so afraid, like they don't eat everyone's food. But we go to restaurants and we don't know the cooks. But okay, you don't eat everyone's food, right? But you don't realize how much power is in the tongue. If someone really wants to do something to you, they don't have to touch you.
Correct.
And that's why it's so important to know what you're speaking on yourself. And that's why I use affirmations, because anytime that I felt like I couldn't do something, I couldn't do it. Because I believed I couldn't do it. And after a while, with the affirmations, listen, it feels like you're lying in the beginning. Like with my affirmations, it felt like I was lying for like months. Not how I lied to my therapist, a different kind of lie. But it felt like I was lying for months. And then eventually what I started doing was I started doing things in my life to make it where my affirmation wasn't a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I say I'm strong, I'm courageous, then I need to make moves that are strong. You know, I need to let go of things that make me weak. So I started doing that. Or if I say I'm beautiful, then, you know, beauty is how you feel. But it'd be like I would start dressing up because how you feel and how you look, it kind of goes together. At least I feel like it does.
Mm-hmm.
If I
you
say
gotta look good to feel good or vice versa kind of thing. Like you gotta make yourself up if you want to feel a little better sometimes.
I need to ask you this because I don't know if it's in my head. When you get your hair done, does your skin clear? Like automatically? Like I don't have acne when I get my hair done. Like after I get a fresh set of braids, it's like my skin is magically clear, but it's probably in my head. That's probably in my head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's in your head.
But I feel like I just look good after I get my hair done.
Yeah. No, because like there's a renewal that happens, I guess, with it. Because I even think sometimes like after I get or when I'm about to get a haircut, I'm like, oh, like I hope my skin does look okay before I get more hair cut off of my head, because then you're just really just going to see my skin.
Now, I'm going to give you this like on the opposite end. I feel like women that have short haircuts, they are like, first of all, your confidence level is like sky high, but it's like they are already beautiful. Like it's like they get more beautiful because all we see, I don't know. It's like, I have to see a before and after picture, but I always be like, you know, I don't know if I could pull that off, but she pulled it off. Like you have to be extra pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, like with a haircut. So yeah. So that's like me on the other side, like telling you how it looked like. Yeah, she did that. Yeah. Yeah.
It was just a distraction. Like my hair would always just get pulled up anyway. I was like, it's a waste of my time. I'm putting all this product in it regularly. And then I just go put it up in a ponytail or in a bun. Just cut it off, please.
You know what? Now you have me wanting to get a haircut. I'm considering shrooms. Like this.
Yes. That means I'm doing my thing.
Now, how's about the water? I have to ask Be Easy one day how the water had worked for him, because you did send him some, right? Or did he?
Yes, Reiki water. I can Reiki water for you too. I just need a picture of it.
Okay, because you know the crown chakra thing. I would love to see. I kind of want to. I'm afraid because we're recording what you're gonna say about me if I ask you. But I kind of want to know.
Know what?
If I have anything blocked, do you feel anything?
I could say that just based off of conversation. Solar plexus could use some work, but I feel like a lot of people need solar plexus work. That's all your empowerment and your confidence and like the willpower to continue things. Mm-hmm. That's all solar plexus. But I mean, that's, like I said, that's for a lot of people. I'm doing solar plexus work often because despite like you saying that I look confident and stuff, I'm not as confident as people are like, she's so confident. No, like let's pretend. Like, just like you said, the affirmations, like the whole, not fake it till you make it, but you know, stick with it until it becomes your day to day, until it becomes a part of your life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, like if like the confidence thing, it comes with time, but yeah. So solar plexus, yellow.
Like you said yellow.
Mm-hmm. Wear some yellow.
I have on yellow right now.
Yay!
That really. Oh Lord. And you don't, y'all, she cannot see me. I don't curse in this show, but I almost did just now.
Oh, my bad. I've just been letting loose all kinds of words.
No, you didn't curse. You didn't say one curse word. Cool. See, you thought you did, but you didn't. You didn't curse. Okay. Oh, wow. My shoes are even yellow. Wow.
Yay, that's good. Yeah, embody that.
Now, I wonder if his crown chakra is still blocked. He sees I have on yellow. Like if
he believes. He believes. He's just, you know, some people just need some baby steps.
I think,
and they're like, okay, I get it now.
I think some people just have way more, you know, like when we're being created and then like you pour the skeptical in there. Like some people, it's like a whole cup of being skeptical. I'm with me. I don't feel like I'm skeptical, but I'm suspicious. Have you ever seen that meme? It's like a beat with Cardi B, and it's be like, oh, this is suspicious. This is weird. I think everything is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, until I, like, read and research. So I think that may be the case.
So for that, I started, like, I don't know if, I'm pretty sure I said it on one of my episodes. I tried to stop labeling things a certain way to take that judgment out of it, because that was blocking me. So when I started labeling things as, excuse me, when I started labeling things as interesting, then it opened another avenue, because it's like, well, everything's interesting. Like, you can make anything interesting. If it's weird, you can call it interesting. If somebody's being a dummy in the corner,
well, that's
that
interesting.
person's interesting over there. Yeah, like, you can throw interesting on a lot of things.
I want to think when I first, now not being funny, but when I first heard your show, that was the only word I could use. Usually I'm really skeptical. Well, not skeptical, but like I said, suspicious. But like everything you said, I was like, that makes sense. So then it became a thing where, okay, I'm waiting for Sheanah to come out Thursday. Yeah. I wonder what she's going to talk about next week. But I started listening to you, I think, like I said, like 2 months ago. I recently went back and was like, you know what? I need to go from number one. I need to hear from number one. And that's when I, like, found Astral Sex and, the mushroom story. And then, like, recently, I think last week, you talked about mushrooms again. Because that was that the one that, was it last week? Because, like I said, I didn't start it all the way over. Was it Solomon and psilocybin? Yes, you mentioned mushrooms a lot, but that was the one where you said the thing about you don't know if you could date someone that never tried it. Yes, yeah, because I gave a friend some shrooms. How did they have a? He had a really good experience. He went through all the emotions all at the same time. His trip was, I think, 4 hours. He laughed hysterically. He cried hysterically. And then I was like, would you do it again? And he said, absolutely. I don't feel like I finished. Like, he didn't feel like he had gotten all the healing that he wanted out of it, but he got a lot of healing out of it. I don't think my ex would do it again. Well, but he wanted to die. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I really thought he had cocaine. I thought he was like, I was like, okay, something's just not right. Like, something is just not right. Like, I've seen people be so high that they get in. Well, no, I'm sitting up here lying. Okay, I've seen movies and stuff where you're so high that you might get in the bathtub with water in it. But it was the screaming that he wanted to die part that really was like, I was like, okay. But he probably just wanted it to end because you get in your head. Yeah. Like, that probably sounded like an easier solution, because just like you said, like, you went to therapy. And you weren't telling him all the things that were really going on. Like, if you go on a shroom trip and you don't address the things that are going on, then yeah, it is going to be a horrible experience. So it probably confronted him with some truths that he didn't want to talk about within himself. That makes a lot of sense. You gave me closure on, because I've always wondered what happened with that. Like, it was like one of those things. Like I said, this happened like years ago, like almost a decade. And I think about it almost every day, because that's how bad it was. But then I saw SZA's video. And I was like, wait. It's not so bad. I was like, wait, she's twerking to a slow song. It can't be that bad. Like, and then I heard you talk about it. I'm like, wait a minute. It had to be him. So with that, I do feel like I do need to probably, well, no, I don't think I have dark things that would get in my head. We all have dark things, but it's just how you confront them. Yeah, because I don't think it would be anything so bad that I want to die. No. It's all temporary. Like, if you want to label things as good feelings or bad feelings, which, again, no point in labeling them good and bad like that, but they're all temporary. Like, eventually you'll sort through them. They're all temporary. So I feel like I'm going to have a lot of listeners write me, because, like I said, this is my first interview that I've ever done. And I'm so overjoyed that it was you, because I've been writing and doodling stuff that I wanted to ask you. Like, the amount of text messages that I've sent this man that he wants me to stop saying his name and been like, did you hear this? Yes, Key, I heard it. You know, like, it was just like, because I was just blown away. Because some of the stuff I've heard before, but you know how you hear something and you don't really believe it, but then you hear it from, even though I do not know you, never seen you, like, you know, out in public, but I feel like you're a reliable source. So I'm like, if Sheanah said that happened, it happened. But yeah, I know my cousin said it 3 years ago, but Sheanah said it on her show. That's kind of like what it was for me. Like, and like, even with the little part that you said on the show where you said that your phone had broke that day. And I felt like that was a sign for me, because the first thing I do, I get up at 5 every morning. I don't know if my arms and legs work yet. I touch my phone. Mm-hmm. And I've been feeling like I need to stop that. Like, I've been feeling like I need to stop like that for like a couple of days now. I just said it out my mouth to one of my close friends a couple of days ago. I was like, if you don't hear from me the first 2 hours of the day, I really think I need to stop like being so accessible and going straight to social media. Mm-hmm. Because
you can I've put like restrictions on my phone for that too.
I've done it for nighttime, but I think I need, because what happens is I have it where a certain time of night my phone like doesn't allow me to get on social media, but I have to have the willpower to not ignore it, because you know it gives you an option to push through anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, put that downtime on to like, I think I have mine on there now till like 10 or 11 a.m. or something like that. So that I don't have a choice, but like to be more intentional with because that was the other thing that I decided moving forward with leaving massage. Like, all right, if I'm going to go into this all the way, I need to be more intentional with my days. Mm-hmm. Like, this magic isn't going to create itself. Like, I need to be more intentional with my days. So I can't hop on social media the minute I get up. Like, I need to meditate first, or, you know, at least take the dog outside first. Like, I can do other things first to connect with me before making myself and my energy, let me say my energy, before making my energy accessible to other people.
I'm so guilty of being that friend that texts you at 6 o'clock to talk about snowfall because I watched it at 5 a.m. And I'm so this week, it's just been on me that I needed to stop that. So with different podcasters now, with your show, I've been listening to it for a couple of months now, but I've been moving around, like toggling and listening to old shows too, like at the same time. But it's another podcaster that I listen to. Her name is Anaya Ivy. I listened to her show, but couldn't find out. I listened to her show and I heard the show where you said your phone had broke. She had a show where she said something about, you know, you need to not be on your phone when you, and it was like the same day. And I'm like, okay.
That's spirit talking
this
to
is
you.
It. Like, this is it. This is my sign that I really need to do other things. And I've actually found guided meditations. They have those, like, people have podcasts that have those on there. Mm-hmm, and that's all they do. You know, I have like apps, like one of my favorite apps is Headspace. Have you ever heard of it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I couldn't get into Headspace. I use Insight Timer though.
Oh, Insight Timer. I'm gonna look that up because Sheanah said she used Insight Timer and it works.
It does. It does. You can even like set up, even if you just want a timer, just to calculate each day that you're meditating. You can put on a timer for 10 or 15 minutes with no music, and then have it go off. So then it's calculating each day that you've meditated.
I'm gonna totally try that. Do you do yoga? Have you tried that?
Yeah, of course I've tried yoga. I'm not into it. Like, it's just, I'll dibble dabble in it here and there, but it's not my thing. It's not my jam.
Now with exercise, do you do any exercise at all?
So I have been given some good genes. Thank you, God. I do walk a lot with my small pony, my dog. So I'm outside a whole lot. I do need to tap more into my strength training because it's that time. But no, the exercise that I do is mainly walking, which in massage school, we did learn if you're going to do any exercise at all, or if, you weren't in love with exercising, walking was good for all the things. It's good for your back. It's good for your posture. It's good for your legs. It's engaging your core. So like if you can't do anything at all, at least do some walking.
Mm-hmm. I just recently started going to the gym. I can honestly say that I feel like even before I started going to therapy. I started going to the gym, and I used to meditate all the time. But I guess you think you get too busy to do that. But the time that I took away from meditation, I was using to be stressed.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You know how much sense that makes when you really think about it. So, okay, so 10 minutes. Because, I mean, meditation is different for everybody. Like, for example, I was asked on a date recently, and the guy asked me to pray over the food. And it got real awkward, right? Because when I pray, I say, Lord, you know. And that's it. And I think he was like, okay, like, and I'm like, well, he knows. And he's like, but that's it. And I'm like, are you judging my prayer life now?
Right.
He knows that I've been praying like this since I was 8 years old. But like with meditation, I mean, I could do a meditation anywhere between 5 minutes. It could be 45 minutes. If you do two, you know, I've fell asleep meditating before, you know, but it's like that time that I took where I felt like I was too busy. Like now I'm up here stressed, and I'm talking about how everybody's aggravating me, and now I'm calling people that I don't usually talk to complain, and now I've actually added more time to my day.
Absolutely.
So I feel like for me, meditation in the gym like has really helped with my healing process, but I haven't really gotten into yoga yet because I have this yoga app, and I'm not a visual learner, so it's not really helping. So yeah, I haven't really got into that, but I just wanted to know if maybe you did it or not.
Not in love with it. I'll do like here and there on YouTube. I'll find some stuff, and Yoga with Adrienne is one that I often would recommend to my clients, even like because you can go on there and pick out like I did one day when like I think my hand was numb or something, and I was like, what's going on with this? And I knew it was probably shoulder related, and shoulder and neck are all together. So I was like, this feels like I've been on my phone and my computer a lot, like text neck. So I went on YouTube and like looked up yoga for text neck.
Well, like I said, I just started working out good, but I don't really do yoga. So I guess I was really trying to ask you, did you feel like a person could be a wellness advocate and not do yoga? Because the way that it's pushed on Instagram is like it's hand in hand, you know, like you have to do
like
it.
It's all like, you know, I say, what's your medicine to a lot of people? Like yoga is just another medicine. It's another, and there's like all kinds of yoga too. Like there's Kundalini Yoga, for instance, which is the yoga of Christ consciousness. So like, you know, you can do Kundalini Yoga and have a Kundalini awakening, which is just like untapped energy, like at the base of your tailbone, that sprouts up your spine and, you know, opens up some chakras that weren't opened yet. So, so that would be the yoga that I was doing if I was into yoga.
That sounds really, I was about to say interesting.
See?
It fit. But now when I say it, I don't want it to be like, oh, she just said it sounds
No, but it'll always fit. That's why like interesting's a good one. It'll always be appropriate.
Yeah. Now, out of all of the shows that you have, which show would you say is your favorite?
My favorite is still the one of me talking about my shroom experience with Mario and Luigi. Just because like every time I talk about that incident, like you know, like when you drink, there's times that you can black out. You might not remember some events.
Right.
But shrooms, you remember all the details of all the things. And I still very vividly remember that whole day right now. And the fact that, was it Mario? Luigi, I think. Luigi couldn't find his glass in the kitchen because it was clear, his glass of water. He couldn't find it because he couldn't see it.
He was in the kitchen for a long time.
He was in the kitchen for a long time, yes. And he could not find it. And I kept asking if he needed any help. And he was like, no, I'm good. And I was like, what's going on? And he said, I can't find my water. glass is clear. So we said, in the future we would have plastic cups.
Right.
That you
could... So he wouldn't lose his water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, that I would say maybe I have problems, but my favorite one was the Astral sex one.
That's fair.
You have good content, but it was that one because not only you, but your guests, y'all were very detailed. Not in you guys, it wasn't like, R-rated, but I saw the guy. Like I have one of those imaginations where it's like I read a lot, so I can see it. So as y'all was talking, I was like, oh yeah, he definitely looked like Damson Idris. He definitely did. He was Franklin Saint. Like I could visualize that. I wonder if it happens to me, will he look like that?
Well, she couldn't see a face. She saw a body, but she never did see a face.
See, the person I heard tell the story to like a long time ago that said it was like the Holy Spirit, she saw a face. And she said he was like the most handsome person she'd ever seen.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm like, it's Damson Idris. It's definitely him. Well, Sheanah, I truly appreciate you for joining me today. Can you tell the people where to find you?
Yes. You can find me on Instagram at Sheanah, Sheanah. I also have a website, Sheanah.com. And I just want to shout you out. Thank you for having me. And also thank you for being a loyal listener. Like, I don't often get to talk to people that listen to my show, so I never really know who's listening. And they're not, out here reaching out to me like, hey, by the way, like, so I don't know who I'm talking to a lot of times.
Right.
I'm just talking. So thank you.
And you know what? That's my fault. Today, I'm going to get off of this and I'm going to review your show because you had no idea because I didn't say anything.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I owe you a review. But I truly thank you for being on the show. I hope I can have you again. I'm definitely going to have you after, I touch into that self-love part. I have to tell you how that went.
Yeah, girl. Keep me updated.
I'm going to tell you how that went because everybody's going to want to know how that went because, Anyway.
But there are on YouTube that you can, this is me fake whispering this part. Okay. You can look up on YouTube like hands-free orgasm hypnosis and, you might surprise yourself.
I'm going to wait till it rains.
Get the mood set just right.
Yeah. I already know what music I'm going to listen to.
You can't listen to the music. You're getting hypnosis.
Oh, okay. So I can't listen to the music, but I have to set the intention right. So if I want it to be Damson Idris, like I think about him, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. One day he's going to hear this show. I think he'll be weirded out. He might be.
Or his wife.
Oh, he's not married. Is he married? Don't say that.
Yeah. Idris?
No, not Idris Elba. I don't like married men. I'm a woman's woman. Franklin Saint, his name is Damson Idris. Yeah. I'm a woman's woman first. I don't want your man. Yes. I want to again thank my guests for coming on. You can catch Sheanah every week wherever you get your podcast. Again, the name of her show is Who You Callin Holistic. And you can find her at Sheanah.com. That's SHEANAH.com. Thank you for joining me for another episode of My Girl Speak with Key. To follow the show, follow us on Instagram at MCS with Key. To get to know the voice behind everything, follow me at The Diary of Key, and it's on all platforms: Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and Clubhouse. On Clubhouse, that's 2 Y's. You can email the show, mygirlspeak@gmail.com. You can leave feedback. We're accepting questions, anything like that. Thanks again. See you next week.